Got a little post-game skirmish going on here. Willie B and looks like Ramon Torres for.
I think it's your boy Steph. I think Q's going to be the first one. Yeah.
And now it's spilling over near the Wave bench.
Welcome to Under Review, the most controversial show in the Major Arena Soccer League. My name is Phil Levanco. That's the head of officials for the MASL, Ryan Sigich. And Ryan, we don't usually get involved with off-field stuff, but it's the biggest story of the MASL week. I sure have nothing to say about it. Do you have anything to say?
You know, I just want to say, there's been numerous armchair referees out there that just couldn't believe at the time that Tenzin Rampa and Stefan were not given red cards by the referees. But you have to remember that the referees are governed by the rules of the game on the field, which means that an incident must meet a threshold of violent conduct. And, the pushing and shoving that was originally going on is not categorized as violent conduct. So, additionally, they're not responsible, nor did they witness anything that happened in the tunnel or the back hallway. And at the time, they did not hear any racial epithets or derogatory comments. So that's why no red cards were given to anybody else other than the two that were given. I think it was handled really fairly, quite frankly. It was swift. I think due diligence was done by Commissioner Tozier. I know he talked to numerous people, did a really good job compiling all the facts and verified what he was able to verify.
Ryan, we're going to stick in this game for a little bit. Lots of incidents to look at. Fourth quarter, 8 minutes or so left on the clock. We've got a 1-goal game, and it looks like tempers are getting a little heated before the big mass confrontation.
Oh, that's indoor soccer. But let me address the rule here, and it's the rule 12.10.f under send-offs. And it does say that the first man off the bench joining an altercation is sent off. But it's not as simple as it sounds. So I'll first preface this by pointing out that this was a foul called in favor of Tacoma. And on a foul, teams are permitted to make line changes. And that's what initially can complicate a scenario like this. So my second point is that at what point does something become an altercation? Because in this case, if the Tacoma players who have a attacking restart are already on the field in the process of making subs, and then the altercation begins, you really can't penalize them for leaving the bench because there wasn't the altercation happening when they left. So in something like that, we would adjudicate what actions they do when they enter the field. And I think this one doesn't become an altercation until Bruno comes in and does a pretty forceful push, and that's what gets everything started. As I said, the rule says, quote, join an altercation, and then we need to define what join means. If you are there as a peacemaker or pulling one of your teammates out of an area, that in my mind is not considered to have, quote, joined the altercation. And the only joining I see here is Stefan when he gets right into Andre Haynes' head. Not sure if there's any contact made, but it's definitely a really provocative move on his part, which he has no business doing. The other players that came off the bench here, Logan Jones and Roman Torres, they're actually moving their teammates away from the incident. So I don't have any violation or anything to call on them. I think this should have been a blue card against Bruno for the really hard, forceful push on the dead ball, and then a blue card on Stefan for getting into Haynes' face ahead the way he did. We should have played 4-on-4 from that point.
Late in the fourth quarter of this one, and we have drama on the field, which I'm thankful to talk about now. 6-6 challenge by Tacoma that Willie B made this save outside of the penalty area. Camera angles on this one aren't the best, Ryan. What is your preferred decision on this play?
Well, I think they got it right. The call on the field is handball against Willie B. And this is always a tough call to make because as a referee, you're never going to be standing out in the middle of the field looking straight down that penalty area line. And, this one, it does, assuming that it is a handball, it stops the attacking play. It must be a blue card, and then it must be a shootout as well. It's a challenge then by Milwaukee to review the play, and then you can see the referees there, Trimble and Atkins. They stay with their call. This was the right decision, not only because I believe that his hand was barely outside, but I think we put the pieces of the puzzle here together because you see, I think Willie B's foot is outside of the penalty area, and then his hand is on the ball, which looks to be on or near his foot. So the other thing here is that remember on video review, it must be clear that an error was made, and there's no clear evidence on this that there was an error.
Ryan, I'm going to stick one more play from this Tacoma-Milwaukee game. I hate to be Debbie Downer here, but it looks like Max Ferdinand might be getting away with a little bit of a hold on Matt Brame before the game-winning goal.
Phil, I don't really have much here. I mean, if you look at it over and over and over again, sure, you can come up with the foul. But looking at it as a referee, one time, game speed from one angle, I think that's just kind of normal play that happens all the time within the game. If a goal wasn't scored, then we wouldn't be talking about it. But again, yes, if I look at it time and time again, I can see a bit of a tug.
Last play on this show, Empire versus the Ambush, fourth quarter, and I thought this was a good call by the referees on this no handball challenge from St. Louis on Marco Fabián before the sixth goal.
It's just so hard to tell. Let's keep in mind this would be what we consider a quote attack or handball. Therefore, any contact doesn't have to be deliberate, but any contact with Fabián's hand in the ball would have been a whistle, and we would have disallowed the goal. But I just simply can't tell if there was or not. I'm leaning towards that there wasn't. The referee didn't see any during live play. And even though there's some good camera angles here, some good video, it's just inconclusive in my opinion. Correct call was made that this goal stands.
That's it for today's show, Ryan. We've got a big weekend ahead of us, not only in our league, but in the NFL as well. I need some picks from you. Come on.
You want me to upset more people than what I usually do? I mean, I don't know. I just like seeing good games at this point because my teams are out. But, yeah, I kind of think the Chiefs need to go away for a while. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Birds or the Reds, the Commanders. I don't care.
As long as the Chiefs go away, we'll be fine.